Happy Friday Eve, everybody. It is Fantasy and Frames draft show night, Thursday night, 9 o'clock-ish.
Sorry.
It's all Keith's fault, guys. He didn't know how to use sleeper. But we are here. We are ready to go. We are doing another Scott Fishbowl expert mock draft for you tonight. We got a full house. We got some really fun people here, but let's get to it. Oh, I see.
I gotta look this way.
Terrible.
The picture's still the same.
What was going on?
I
We
love it.
not?
Great.
I think it's pretty flattering to me personally, but speak for
I
yourself.
think Jorge
guys.
gets a giggle out of it every time that it pops up there. I think he just giggles. to
Anytime it can get me looking anywhere but the camera, I think it's a win for.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Guys, everybody out there in the internet world listening, watching us, hanging out tonight, thank you so much for coming on and spending your Thursday evening with us. The chat looks like it is hopping, so thanks to everybody who's hanging out there, and hello to everybody. Guys, like I said, we have a full house tonight. We've got some really fun drafters with us. We have got Louis G of Analytics Are for Nerds. What's up, Louis?
What's up, Stace? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. See, you were invited to this one, so I don't want to hear this out there. Come on.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's like you didn't invite me to your Tuesday party, but you found out it was bad and said, this is like when you have like that little brother that didn't get to go with you to the pool party. You're like, all right, I'll bring you along to this one. Cool, thanks, Stace. I appreciate it.
That's not
this
true.
one's got way more. That one had Shope and Krautwurst in it. These guys are way cooler than those two. So I think this party is way cooler. I appreciate being a part of it.
Oh yeah, I mean, you could just say I didn't want to play against you for money. So
Scared to compete.
That is true. I'm scared of it.
Chuck Bass, thank you for hanging out with us tonight too. You are down there in the corner. Chuck, your podcast, it's This Guy Sucks. Is that right? I felt weird saying that out loud. I was like, I don't want him to think I'm telling him he sucks.
Yeah, that's the whole point. I want you guys to feel super uncomfortable just even thinking about it. That's really just the branding that I'm going for. Although you're making me feel uncomfortable. I'm drafting from the Jan Brady spot, which is like, I don't even know what the hell I'm going to be doing with this team, but we'll make it work somehow. Happy to be here.
Look, as your father, Mike Brady, your stepfather, Mike Brady, I think you better make it work.
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness. Rachel, our lovely Tootsie Pop here, founder of Unwind in Between Media. Rach, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here. Thanks, Stacey.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for hanging out. And we got the one, the only Mr. Scott Fish down here in the corner. Scott, what's going on?
What's going on, everyone? just happy to hang around and watch you guys draft while I just sit here and have a drink.
That's exactly why I'm not drafting, Scott, so I can just sit here and heckle them for all the picks. So
Peanut gallery. I love it.
Exactly. All right, guys, I'm going to throw this. There we go. I'm going to throw the board up here on the screen. I'm going to hit that start button. Rich, I hope you're ready.
Oh, I'm ready. It's the same one every time. I'm so ready. This is why I went 101, is so that I can get Josh Allen without having to cry too much.
Too much.
There we go. Too much, Louis. You're number 2. You got 3 whole minutes on the clock.
I know what I'm going to do here. No, I'm going to end up. I'm talking myself out of what I was going to do already. We talked on my podcast the other day about how a guy like Tyreek Hill might make sense in this format right here. We were just talking about this before the podcast about, I think if this kickoff thing goes the way that the league wants it to, stars like Tyreek Hill are going to be looking at week 5, week 6, no one getting hurt, touchdowns and return yards happening all over, and be like, get me on the field for these. And out of all those receivers there at the top of this tier, anybody non-quarterback, I think he's the most exciting to think about. So there is a case for him. With all that being said, I'm going to go Richardson here just for the rushing upside. Ooh. And the rushing attempt should be up there too. And obviously getting a quarter point, Scott? right?
Yep.
For
Quarter point.
I think that justifies Richardson here going 1-2 if I could find him. It's never a good thing when you can't find the guy that you want in the queue. But I'm just gonna go with the fact that they don't know Scott Fish.
At least you knew how to open the app and get in the podcast, so you're off to a better start than I did.
I did not want to say that, but we were all thinking it. So I'm glad that you came out and admitted it.
Like scrolling the F down is a best ball thing, but if you're doing that with your first pick, I mean,
yeah, it's never a good thing.
Oh,
Yeah, I was on a platform earlier today doing a mock draft that I haven't been on in years, and their rankings are still pre-draft, so all the rookies are like way at the bottom, and the rankings are pre-draft, and that is rough to try to draft on.
Well, Rachel is making her pick right now. I want to say a little shout out to everybody who's drafting off camera with us real quick. And then Scott, I would love for you to go over the rules if you don't mind. So we've got Drew Scott from
no pressure, Scott.
No pressure. We've got Drew Scott from Fourth and Frames drafting out of the 3. We have got Justin Taylor also from Fantasy and Frames out of the 5. We got Mr. Chris Battisteel also from Fourth and Frames on the 7. And then let's move it on down. We have got Kim over here, guys. She is she's been in Scott Fishbowl, I think, since 2011. And one of our Unwind ladies, she joined us last week, couldn't stay away from this week. So Kim, I better see you back next week to make it 3 in a row. We got Kelly Donovan coming out of the 11 with us here. Also, one of our Unwind ladies has been doing the Fishbowl for now 2 years in a row and is doing Battle of the Sexes. So thanks to everybody who's hanging out off camera with us tonight, too. So, Scott, I'm going to turn over to you to give everybody the lowdown on what the scoring rules are this year.
Sure. It's pretty basic scoring, your standard scoring that you have in most leagues, I would guess. There's a few differences though. The passing yardage is 1 per 50 yards, so it's about half your normal league. It's nerfed a little bit. You get a quarter point per rush attempt, so that's added on to the running backs. Wide receivers, tight ends, and running backs and kickers all get that half point per first down. Can't wait to see a kicker get that. That's going to be great if that happens. The tight ends get an extra point per first down. The points per reception are tiered, so that's a half a point for the running backs, quarterbacks, and kickers, and 1 point for wide receivers, 1.5 for tight ends. You want to go over kickers too? No?
Yeah.
Yes? All right.
Who knows? Maybe he takes the kicker out of the 12 spot. We don't know.
Yeah, you never know.
Please do it.
Yeah, their extra points are 33 yards, so I gave them 3.3 points for it. Their field goals are decimal scoring, so like a 37-yarder is 3.7, a 24-yarder is only 2.4, just like that. Special teams, you're going to get 10 points for any return, and you get 1 point for every 5 yards on a return, which could be absolutely insane this year.
That's fun. How do you come up with these rules every year? Like, what's your process? Like, when do you start thinking of like how you're gonna like change it every year?
I've had a methodology most years. At this point, I feel like I'm just throwing darts at a dartboard and trying to figure something out that will get people talking, or just a different way to play that'll balance something. Every year, I try to bring in something like the 3RR, the third round reversal year. I wanted to show people, hey, you can use this, or first downs. Like 10 years ago, I was like, you can play with first downs. They matter in your scoring. They matter in leagues. The year where everybody was talking about our sacks, a quarterback stat or an offensive line stat, I threw those in to get people to talk. And this year with the new kickoff rules, I'm going to do something with that and do something extreme enough that it makes it worth talking about. Because if you do your standard kickoff return scoring, people aren't going to talk much about it. But if you do something extreme where it could shake up a draft or shake up waivers, people will. I'm sure you've watched other shows talking about this scoring or these mocks. The kick return stuff gets talked about as something that could be really game changing. So
it definitely could. I feel you're like the Always Sunny meme where is that Charlie Day who's like in front of the board with like all the strings everywhere?
Yes. It's kind of how it feels. I did that for a live stream the other day. I put a bunch of notepads and strings behind me while I was on the show.
Pepe Sylvia.
I see 4 tight ends so far. Taken here in this deck. Oh, 5. Make that 5 from Kev.
Wow, fun.
Look at that. So Kelsey, Laporta, McBride, Kincaid, Andrews, Pitts make that 6 now. All right. Do you guys want to do a run on tight ends?
Sure kills me every time.
We're
Always
being
been
bad
a
influences
trendsetter,
right now.
Stacey. Always been a trendsetter. So
Not me. I like to make a splash and kind of make things about me, but I was seriously considering this player at 1-2. I know it would have been a little weird, but I'm going Jaden Daniels here. I think in this format is going to be, he's easily a first rounder to me, but I was considering him at 1-2.
Yep.
Now, if I could just learn how to draft him, there we go.
Make sure to just keep scrolling down so you can.
He was there this time. I'm not a sleeper guy.
Crispy says bully tight end bully kick returner for the win. Chris, you've got 2 receivers up here. I want to see you get a little wild with your picks in a little bit. Monica, exactly, Erica. But see, I'm not drafting, so it's okay if somebody else takes Sam Laporta from me.
Yeah, Stacey, don't go back and watch. Well, maybe do. Everybody else can go back and watch Fantasy Football Weekly, our show that just concluded on Fantasy and Frames. We might have had some Laporta slander on there.
That's just hateful. You guys are jealous. Don't be haters. Don't be haters.
Might. You have to watch it to find out.
That probably was all from Keith, if I had to guess.
Hey, it was definitely not all from me. That's why he said you don't want to listen from, and it's not hate. It is more just,
reasonable.
We got to call a spade here.
An intervention.
We do, Keith. We got that 3rd round reversal up, so you're up now. Do you know how 3rd round reversal works?
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm thinking. I know. I don't want to pull anything.
I'm going to mess with you the whole draft now. Oh man. All right. So Chupa Batman wants to know how many will draft Hawkinson into it this year to get the joke.
Oh, stepping on my jokes for later, Zach. You dog.
Oh guys, if you know, you know on that one. Go look up the internet. It's out there.
Go look up the internet.
Whoa, this thing is so cool.
Stacey, you sounded a million years old.
I know.
With that statement right there.
I had a birthday last week, guys. So my old lady has
29.
You
look great.
Exactly. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. Rachel, you're being a little quiet over there. I want you to tell us about your first Scott Fishbowl.
Oh, my first Scott Fishbowl was SFB 11. Feels like eons ago now. Was that the music year?
Ooh.
Yes,
Ooh,
I believe
That was in the pink division.
Yeah, yes, it was.
Yeah, so that was fun.
Great album.
It was just amazing to the division chats and just getting to meet people in the community and just to see what Scott Fishbowl does with bringing and uniting everyone. It was just amazing. And yeah, so thanks, Scott.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, give me a break. Come on. I can't. These girls just snipe me on the reg. It's killing me.
Well, Kim sniped me on Puka, so I'm blaming Kim.
Oh, I like it. I like the McBride Kittle back to back. That's nice.
Kittle. I'm just gonna get those return yards from him guaranteed, so I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah.
Better hope he bulks up.
We were talking about the wide receivers doing, the star wide receivers like a Tyreek potentially doing kick return yards, and I can just think about how livid I would be if I drafted Tyreek and his 30-year-old ASS is out there returning kicks. I'd be so mad. I just know that's something bad waiting to happen.
Chuck, it's okay. It's after 9:00. Feel free to say it out loud.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Permission granted. Chalupa Batman over here. SFB gives you your draft pick chat with Shane Battier and former Duke Blue Devil Shane Battier. That is my college basketball team. And Matthew Berry. We are talking about the NBA Finals at that time.
Oh,
a Duke fan on this account?
I am a Duke fan, exactly. Shout out JJ Redick getting a job today.
It's a low hanging fruit to predict he's going to be a flop.
Hey.
Look, that's the only flopping joke I can make about JJ Redick now that he's not playing.
I
We're
saw
cruising
him
right now.
play Florida State back when like Duke was. That's how old I am. Is that I saw him play when I was in college, and I was like the only Duke fan at the Florida State. I went with a friend of mine who let us sit in the student section, which was a poor choice. If you were,
That's
yeah,
a dangerous away game territory.
Christian Leitner.
Yeah.
Hold on. Come on.
That's actually how I became a Duke fan because my dad is from Kentucky and he's
wow.
Right. And I was a horrible child and like to root against his team.
Yes,
so kind of
course.
Yeah.
Sure.
Painful memories being brought up right now. This is
because you're in Lexington, right, Chuck?
Yeah, I am. Let's hop on a Scott Fishbowl 14 live stream mock draft and talk about Kentucky getting destroyed in 1992.
All right. I hate Kentucky for 1996 as a Syracuse fan.
I mean, Kentucky got their revenge, like 8 years later in the Elite Eight, I guess.
Yeah. We had a couple skulls hanging from the wall. Not lately, though.
No. That's okay. All right. I see that I meant to mention this. Chris, right here in the middle of Team 7.
Yes, say it.
Rich. So you couldn't take him this time.
Right. Yep.
Chris, that's copyright infringement, brother.
Speaking of, did I hear you have a show called Fantasy Football Weekly?
They do, yeah. It comes on 8:00, right on Thursday nights, right before.
Not affiliated with the original Fantasy Football Weekly.
Stacy, the joke
that is in the liner notes.
I know. I just realized I didn't get that joke.
The longest running fantasy show in the industry, 30 years now. 30 years.
Nice.
Oh, inside jokes.
We will put the 30,847th longest running show.
That's funny.
Ooh, the Joku. Hold on.
What are you doing, Chuck?
I love it.
He's pulling a Bob Harris over here.
He is pulling a Bob Harris. That's a phrase now. He's pulling a Bob
Chuck?
Harris. Yeah.
Operate on high T E. Feeling pretty good. The Ozempic is kicking in. I think we're gonna ride it this way.
Is that Busty Chuck Bass or Busty Bob Harris? I don't know.
Oh my gosh, you're the only one that's got multiple tight ends now. Yeah.
But by the way, Chuck, I saw your thing earlier. I played in leagues similar to that. Your tweet about Ozempic League. I haven't played in that specifically, but that and probably other things you've thought of would go great in my half-baked league idea segment.
I'll cook up a little more there. Yeah, I was like, I wonder if anybody will think this is funny, and it was the most responses I've had on a tweet in like weeks. So people are ready to rock.
Yeah.
FFPC does the Terminator, which is best ball, where you eliminate a player each week. So the format's similar. I was going to comment today, are you serious? One, and are we doing best ball? Are we doing lineups would be tough because after a few weeks you'd be kind of screwed. But I love the idea for sure.
Terminator is a great name, but I think I have an in with the pharmaceutical industry with my Jardiance connection. So I think going with the Ozempic might work out.
I've been on a diet for 20 days just to try to get Ozempic to sponsor my podcast. So I'm trying. I don't want to use the drug itself. I just want a sponsorship. So.
Just keep reading those books. Keep reading that nonfiction. You'll get there.
Yeah, we're officially at a stage where just about every league type has been done. It's just taking portions of different types of leagues and smashing them together to try to make something.
Make something new.
It's like inventing and just shoving a clock in it. That's pretty much what we're doing right now.
That's right.
Oh.
Anybody regretting their picks?
Yeah.
One that no one talked about and wasn't like me, but the FF Chris there at like the 3-6 taking Shaheed, like I kind of love that. I think that in most of these leagues, you might be able to get him a little bit later than that because people aren't quick to think about the return value. But I wouldn't be shocked if he fits that value come the end of this. So that's going to be a real, like, he was already a great returner. And now he's a big time wide receiver, like number 2. Like I can easily see him a third rounder in this format, and I think that's a great pick that really we just overshadowed there.
I love it. If he doesn't take Melvin Mims later on, I'm going to be so disappointed.
I definitely agree with you, Louis. I've brought up both of Shaheed and Mims a bunch of times, but it would be the most Saints thing ever to start just throwing Taysom Hill back there.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Right?
Most Saints thing ever.
Jesus, now you have me sold that that's what's going to happen. Like, I didn't even think about that, but
He's
you
just
are
got to
right.
go one way and break a couple tackles.
Oh. And the thing that sucks is he's going to be good at it. Like,
I know, right?
Somehow he's going to sign another 5-year extension for $64 million just because he's going to be the best kick returner in the game.
But the problem is he's going to have games with 3 of them and games where he gets 0. That's
and he'll still be a quarterback on most formats too.
Yeah. I said don't put that evil on him.
If you can get Saints points without having to watch Derek Carr, that's a win. That's a win for everybody.
Chuck loves Derek Carr.
Oh,
Screw the Saints.
David Carr.
Think Derek Carr is going to be the starter before too long. I don't know. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Is it going to be Spencer Rattler?
Rattler season?
Yeah.
That would be
Did they get rid of Hayner? Did we already talk about this? Or is Hayner still there?
He's there for appearances only.
Well, as he should be.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll get through camp.
That's really a shame. I mean, he just seems like such a fun personality. If for that reason only.
I do really like the smattering of color. It's the last few years it's been so quarterback heavy at the top. I like that it's such a mishmash here in the 5 rounds.
Yeah. I was really surprised that Dak fell as far as he did. Like, I couldn't not pick him up at that point, end of the 3rd round. Like, one of the things that I was going into with this format and everything is I've been staying away from getting that second quarterback for the most part until much later, if I get one at all, just to be a backup, But having Dak sitting there, I'll go with that.
That's nice.
You really get to see people's personalities with these teams, and I think that's a great addition. The more you open it up, the more we get a peek inside the psyche.
Oh, yeah.
Is that Chuck? Is that why your draft with the 4 oranges? Is that why it looks like a hangover piss? That's what it looks like right now.
Oh, it's never been. I've been searching my whole life for the sentence you just said, and now I'm going to be hanging on to that.
Yes, Marvin Mims. Good job, Rich. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
That is a wide receiver one if I've ever seen one.
Absolutely.
Right.
Poor Marvin Mims.
Totally banking on those return yards, but this is something that I've been playing with that I think would be kind of interesting is having that wide receiver. Like, that's originally I was going to take Shaheed at the end of the 3-4 turn there, but of course that didn't happen. But that's like one of the things that I've been enjoying is trying to go with just a one receiver who is a returner as being that guy, just because I feel like receivers kind of took a little bit of a hit. Maybe I'm wrong on that, Scott. Maybe you can speak to that a little bit, but I just felt like with the scoring and whatnot, they're just not as important as they have been, as what I like to usually put them up. You know what I mean?
I think that's fair. Yeah, I think that's fair.
I mean, if you look at like the top, what is it, like the top 30? It's from last year with this year's scoring. It's pretty running back heavy, surprisingly.
Yeah.
In points per game, at least.
I think that there's a shift in fantasy in general this year where the top 10 RBs really should be that they're so above and beyond the rest of the murky waters that are around this league that like I've already in my portfolio been a little bit more running back heavy in the first 2 rounds, and I think in this format where I double tap Barkley and Henry in 3 and 4 where they're going to be getting a lot of carries. That's going to score just in that format alone. They'll both get touchdowns. I really like the top 10 RBs this year to really be pushing back everything. But even though in this format mostly with like Barkley and Henry, they're going to eat carries. So with really no competition at either spot.
And we've been talking about the last couple of years where profiles that would typically be in like the 3rd or 4th round get pushed down. So, I mean, you're really boosting the strength of like typical guy, I don't want to say names because they haven't been drafted yet, but there's a lot of good profiles that are on efficient offenses that you wouldn't normally get in like the 6th or 7th round. And now obviously with the draft within a draft with quarterbacks and now tight ends getting pushed up, you're going to see a lot of talent in like the 9th, 10th round where obviously you shouldn't be getting it there, but it's a byproduct of what you did with what's done with the scoring.
Exactly. Guys, just for our listeners out there, if those of you who are going to be listening to this later, probably tomorrow, and not watching, we are in the 6th round. We're going to do 15 rounds here of this mock draft. Chuck is going to take every single tight end that's still available on the board. Take any more. Guys, who's done the most mock drafts so far? What numbers are we at? What numbers are we looking at from everybody?
I don't want to say, but it's a lot.
I bet it was Chuck wins.
Don't be shy, guys. How many have we all done?
Just like 10. I need to
You've
catch
done 10?
Girl, I'm less than that. I'm like 4.
Oof.
I've only done them on stream, so this is my 3rd.
Those are rookie numbers. You got to push those numbers up, guys.
Chuck's like in 563.
I'm definitely in like the low 40s for sure. I got the newborn though. I'm saddled around. Not a lot to do. Paternity leave. I got time to kill.
Let's just get one of those baby borns. Just strap that on and just start drafting.
Oh, the wife loves that. She can't get enough.
Just all the screen time, just right in the poor baby's face.
You got to put up Loop's comment here. It's by round 15. Chuck's be looking at Mike Ditka.
Is he available? Can you get him on?
If he's lucky in round 15, he might be gone by then.
R.I.P. What a legend.
Oh man, yeah.
Right.
That's great. Oh my goodness, who's doing live drafts? Is everybody doing? I know there's a couple of us that are not, but who else doing live?
I'm running Buffalo.
I will see 3 of the people in this stream in 3 weeks.
Speaking of Louis, what time is your Buffalo? What date and time is your Buffalo draft?
I don't know. You want to tell me? I don't know. No, it's 1 o'clock on that Saturday. And again, we have the date.
Okay.
But yeah, we're doing it 1 o'clock that day. And we're going to be
Buffalo.
Yeah, and we're going to be podcasting live from there too. And we got a couple of the guys from the local sports station that are going to come in and kind of jump in as host while we draft. So it should be a fun day out there.
Nice.
Nice. And Erica, you're doing Dallas.
I'm doing Dallas.
All right, and then we got our Minnesotas, right?
Woohoo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
We you there, Rich.
Oh,
yeah.
3 Minnesotas. Wow.
Great. Yeah, we got Kevin.
You're representing.
I'm going to check out the location on Sunday. I'm not drafting. I don't draft live though. I'm doing too much stuff. So
You're a little busy. What?
No.
It's the easiest time of year for Scott. Oh man.
Non-tight end for Chuck. Look at that.
Oh, Kamara. We got some green in there.
Yeah,
I thought we'd
there's
see
just
Ben
not a good
Sinnott
tight,
before.
not a good tight end left on the board, according to my advanced model, which you can pay for.
Wait,
He needed some veteran leadership on his team.
is
That's why.
Taysom Hill listed as a tight end on Sleeper? Because
I think he's both.
Good old Tay.
is he both?
I think he's
Okay.
tight end QB.
Well,
Oh my gosh.
that's going to be a sleeper advantage because
Yeah.
on MFL it's he's QB, and I asked them today, and they said they're probably going to leave him there. So,
Okay. Everywhere I've seen him so far has been QB.
I picture just raging debates internally about whether to do that or not. Like just mayhem in the offices. People die hard. What are we going to do with this guy?
yeah.
I wonder if he knows. Do you think Taysom Hill knows that he's like one of the most polarizing players in fantasy football?
Gotta know.
Oh yeah, he's
Has
gotta.
to be,
He's
yeah.
gotta.
He has to know. Do you think he loves it or?
I bet he loves it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I wouldn't even think twice of it if I was like running a host site or something. I'd be like, whatever the official depth chart for the team says, that's where he goes. Like,
Yeah.
It's so cut and dry, no gray area that you can just slough it off. But yeah, I get the arguments.
I mean, that just seems like the easiest thing to do, right? Just do whatever the team says, but
Scott sold me.
yeah.
That got me.
Taysom Hill, 7th round.
Forget that 3-6 Raheed Shaheed. It's all about the 7th round Taysom Hill.
The
That's
7th
where
round
it's
tight end / QB.
Yeah.
I mean, what one of the teams picked up, I can't remember who it was. They picked up a rugby player to do returns.
Yes, the Chiefs.
Was
The
Reece
Chiefs have
Samet?
really
Chiefs.
yeah.
Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Bills drafted that Gable Stevenson wrestler. He was an Olympian wrestler that went to WWE, and then the Bills assigned him. You're gonna see so much. This is gonna be great. I love that you did this in this format because it makes this fun. But forget about fantasy football for a second. I think this is gonna be the biggest addition to the league itself in a rule change that they've made in years. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
So it's Louis Reese Zamet.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the Chiefs guy. I want somebody to take him. Someone take him in this draft in the 15th round or something, please.
What's his?
Is he available?
Because I mean,
God damn it.
Someone with
He's not even in the player pool.
He's on the player pool. Come on.
They're a decent amount. Well, I don't know his official position because there are a decent amount of returners that are cornerbacks that aren't draftable in SFP.
Right.
Because they're cornerbacks.
He's in here.
I'm gonna
He's
look
in
it up
here.
on our lads.
He's ranked 295, the 295th ranking, ADP of 300. He's getting drafted. He's getting drafted.
All right. I'm still the last to draft the running back, so at least I feel better.
You're on brand, Kev.
That would have been great, Kevin, if you did the kid from KC right there.
Right.
Okay, so they have him listed on special teams. Yeah. That's on our lads is where I found that. Yeah, it's Butker, Justin Reed, and then Louis Reese Zamet.
Oof, what a crew. What a
Right.
special teams crew. That
Yeah,
room.
the Chiefs have him
Oh,
on
they
the
have him
Chiefs
listed as a kick
official
returner
site.
also.
On the Chiefs official site, they have him listed as a running back.
Yeah.
Really? Because I'm looking at our lads. That's where I get all my depth chart stuff, and they've got him listed in 2 spots on with the kickers and then with the returners also. That's where they also have Kadarius Toney listed.
Imagine the conversations in that special teams meetings between Harrison Butker and this rugby player.
I feel like you could just probably say that between Harrison Butker and then just like anybody.
Harrison Butker and Rachel. Can you imagine?
Yeah. JT took K Otten. That's one of my favorite sleeper tight ends this year. Do you guys have any? Who's got some good sleepers that they're stashing away later?
I like Musgrave.
I do like.
I had him on one of my dynasty leagues last year, and he came through for me at the end of the season.
He did. I mean, that's a homer pick for me too, but I am a Musgrave fan. It doesn't have to be tight end. We can pick his sleepers in other positions. That's allowed.
Come on, Keith.
What?
Isaiah Likely. I love it. Going into the 9th round, Keith is on the clock. Pick 12. Tajay Spears there.
Spears. I like that.
What
running backs you got there, Keith?
Tajay and Stevenson. I figured that Stevenson getting the bag is guaranteed that they're going to run the wheels off of them this year, and it'll be check down central, whether it's Jacoby Brissett or if we get year one. But the Tajay Spears thing is honestly just he didn't do a great job of it, but he did kick and punt returning for the Titans a good bit last year. And hopefully, maybe he has a breakout year at running back and continues to be the kick/punt returner, although they did draft a wide receiver in the 6th round who is apparently one of the best punt returners in college football. And a lot of people think with the new special teams rules that kickoff returns are basically, in a lot of ways turning into punt returns. And it's going to be a little different at the guys that they use because they're saying that you want guys that can break tackles, unlike in years past where you just want guys that can blow by people.
Great pick,
Erica. You took my plan.
That's a double snipe. She took mine. That was mine too.
Oh man! So you would have sniped me anyway. You too. I'm on the wrong side of this.
So sorry.
Anne has a question for us. She wants to know thoughts on the effect of, it's not a dumb question, Anne. About the new rules in the new return rules with the fishbowl format this year.
I think it's the biggest edge right now that you can have in this particular format, with people not being totally up on who the kick returner is. And granted, that stuff can change in training camp too, but I mean, there's a lot that you can glean from some guys that are available that still have roles in their offenses that you can kind of double dip, and you're going to see those guys be you're going to think they're going too high, but if you're really up on the scoring system, like Rashid Shaheed, like Tajay Spears, who have return roles locked up with their teams, I think those guys are definitely an edge to have in this format.
Might see some flying V.
Yes.
I like that Rachel grabbed Dell,
Ducks
who had
fly together.
Dell had like 14 or 15 returns for the Texans last year, and Eckler has been returning kicks in training camps or in OTA.
Has he really?
Yeah. So
I didn't know that. That's fantastic.
I think that's the coolest thing about this is that, you can plan and you can look at depth charts. I think there's going to be teams switching this position. Yeah. I mean, it might take 2-3 years for the league to really catch up to how they're going to play this. But, the point I keep coming back to, and I'm sure I know I made it before. I'm sorry if I made it on air so far, but there's going to be guys that want, superstars that normally wouldn't take that role, that are going to want to get out there in these opportunities to make plays.
And there's always going to be a team or two that is way ahead of the curve with stuff like this too. And then you're going to see the copycats.
Yep. 100%.
I mean, it's going to swing games is to me, everybody's talking about the purposes for fantasy, but I mean, literally to Kevin's point, those teams that figure this out and are elite on special teams, there's going to be more touchdowns and big returns. That's just a fact. And
I'll advise you to take the Commanders under win total if they're throwing Austin Eckler out there on returns.
That's a very good point.
Piece of gambling advice.
I will be shocked if Cordero Patterson isn't returning.
Oh, yeah, he will. I'm sure.
Well, I mean, they got Rodriguez Jr. at Washington, who's actually a pretty good kickoff punt returner as well.
Yeah, they can do some stuff.
Just throw Jaden Daniels back there.
Hey, when Tyreek was at Oklahoma State, he returned all of the kicks.
Yeah.
Four
Even
touchdowns.
Kansas City too. Early on, he was a
But
nightmare.
there's no way if I'm Miami and Tyreek's, size and just injury history that I'm putting that dude back there. Because that's just, to me, that's too, like, there's certain players that there's no way it's worth the risk, in my opinion, unless we see something totally different than what we're expecting. Because I think Miami's success, obviously keeping the pass rush healthy, because they had terrible luck last year with injuries on the defensive line, but Tyreek Hill being healthy is like the most important thing for Miami's success.
Here's a fun hypothetical. Take prime Devin Hester. Where is he going in this scoring? Top 10, top 15?
Wow.
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way. Rashid Shaheed went mid-third. Like, if Shaheed goes mid-third, where does Hester go?
Right.
Oh, Devin Hester, man. Oh, those are the good days.
I mean, just think of a game where Shaheed breaks one touchdown and goes 4 for 70 without a touchdown receiving. Like, that's
He's a wide receiver one.
I can tell you,
it's
week two last year, Shaheed had 43 points.
There we go.
I'm brand loyal to Dante Hall. I don't want to hear this Devin Hester nonsense.
Well, I was going to say him too.
Joystick. Love
it. Chris here with some XFL stats for us. That'd be Mr. Chris Gattasteel, Team 7. That the top XFL returner had over 900 yards in 10 games. Why haven't they signed him to an NFL team yet?
Right. He knows how the kickoffs go. It's actually kind of surprising.
Because not as good of people were tackling him. But that might play a role.
Yeah, the XFL was tackling the Rock.
He hate me.
That's not a real league. When you hear about the XFL, the Ric Flair available. Come on.
Hey, no disparaging the Nature Boy. Come on now.
Yeah, he's disparaged himself enough.
Exactly.
He does that pretty well.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're just piling out at this point.
But I still love Ric Flair. So
who doesn't? I mean, come on, he's a national treasure. You know, he lives in Tampa.
Oh, he lives in Tampa now.
I think. Well, he comes to Lightning games all the time.
Oh yeah,
he lives in a tower looking over where the Lightning play.
He is the biggest Fairweather fan in the history of sports. Like every time I turn around, Ric Flair is talking about another university NFL basketball hockey team to the point where I think he's getting paid. It's like whoever gets Flair something free.
Oh yeah, Ric Flair would do a Manscaped ad right now for a few bucks. Like Ric Flair ain't turning down nothing for nothing.
You do a Manscaped ad without blinking. There's a lot worse he could do.
Let's get him and Baby Gronk in a room together and see what happens.
We have a lot of wrestlers and former wrestlers that live in Tampa. There's like a ton of them.
Yeah, it's the hub.
It is.
It is.
100%. What's up, Drew? Yeah, Ric Flair is a Florida man. I mean, he's got the tan for sure. Him and Hulk Hogan. My gosh. Yeah.
Sorry, I was looking up if there was any chance that Jameson Williams would be doing kick or punt returns this year. The answer to that, at least so right now, is no. So I got to go on to another plan B here.
That's your guy, Keith. You are all in on Jameson Williams this year.
I believe in the talent, and I do. I think that he's going to have his breakout year. It's the main reason that I'm not as high on your boy Laporta as other people, is I just think between St. Brown and you see what Gibbs did last year, there's just a lot of mouths to feed, and that's not necessarily good for our guy. I'm sorry, I'm trying to pick.
Let's just hope he's not gambling anymore this year, and he's on the field.
Amen to that. Because Calvin Ridley.
So you went with somebody else who may not be on the field this year. You're right.
Yeah, but I like his upside now.
I do too. I think he'll be fine. Mr. Scampers, I don't ever want to be accused of being biased against the hockey teams here. So I am going to show your Panthers for life comment here in the tweet, even though I am a Lightning fan. Can you guys please just bring that cup home to Florida? Like, I don't know what you're doing toying with the Oilers here, but
How nervous are you?
Put it away tomorrow night, please.
Florida is the hockey capital of the world.
You are damn right, Chuck Bass. It is the hockey capital of the world. 100%. Don't anybody forget it. Let's go.
Are you nervous, Stacey?
I am not nervous because I don't care because the Lightning win either way, right?
Well,
Because
no, but I'm asking, like, you're a hockey fan. I don't, like, from what I've seen, people really think that Edmonton, it's never been done, right? There's never been a team.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, here's the deal. Look, if the Panthers win, great. The state of Florida gets the cup for how many years in a row? Like a
If
bunch.
not, you can rag them.
Not in a row, sorry, but like however, I forget they said the stat the other day. However many of the last years we've had it like 4 times.
Part of the issue with hockey, by the way, is Canada can't win a Stanley Cup.
It is.
Florida,
And if
1,000 degrees just wins them left and right.
Right, baby. And if they lose, then that just means the Lightning are in fact superior to the Panthers, who have been in the finals the last 2 years in a row and can't get it done. So either way, the Lightning win.
At the very least, either Florida will hoist the cup in Game 6, or Edmonton will win the cup in Florida.
Yeah,
and get to celebrate
in Miami.
With all the Florida men.
Yeah,
with Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Bunch of guys from Edmonton on South Beach. That's the dream.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Scampers is right on. This is what I'm thinking too. Scampers. 100 plus targets. I love it. I love it. How many did he have last year? He had a lot. Let's find out exactly how many. 164.
If you look at his stats since the last 5 games, I believe, of his rookie year, he's like top 3 in targets, receptions, receiving yards. It's really remarkable what that guy has become. And, you know, the one thing I really do like about the Lions, and why I keep saying, like, I believe Laporta is going to regress a little bit, but it's just because of targets. It's not because of his skill level. The return of the OC is so big for that Detroit offense, and why I am kind of all in and all those guys that you could talk me into literally either of the backs, the receivers, the tight ends, golf, because I think that's a really big deal that they're kind of bringing everybody back. And it's a division that doesn't have a very good secondaries in general, and that's, you know, 6 of your opponents.
Drew says back-to-back Carolina Panthers with his last 2 picks with Jonathan Brooks and Deontay Johnson. What could go wrong?
He thought he was drafting Florida Panthers.
Yeah.
Joe Matz was just talking about why he's very pro Deontay Johnson this year on our show, leading into yours. So I like the Deontay Johnson pick, and I'm high on Brooks, obvioly.
Yeah, there's good people on both sides of the Deontay Johnson argument.
I just want to shout out how hot that Noah Fant pick was. That's what I would have said for my sleeper earlier if I didn't want to give it away. So well done.
Very nice. Very nice. Louis, look at you being a homer taking Curtis Samuel in the draft.
Listen, I was gonna say it before I picked it, but this is not a homer pick as much as it is. I think he's one of those guys that fit that profile that I was talking about earlier, that Buffalo hasn't really had a great return game or a great returner to begin with. So they're going to be kind of starting fresh with this whole thing. And I think his skill set out of all the skill players really fits that role the best. So I think he might find himself that role, at least if not right away, eventually. And he's all the Buffalo wide receivers. I'll tell you this right now. You want to get my little Buffalo. They're all going to be good best ball guys. I don't think any of them are going to be really worth drafting in lineup leagues because they're just going to be too boomer busts with Allen. But they're all going to have monster games when Allen does find them, like the Gabe Davis games. So I love Samuel in this format. I think he becomes the number 1 receiver on the team when you consider the fact that he might be finding himself returning kicks. Nobody else fits. Shakir's not going to be back there. Keon Coleman's not going to be back there. Nobody else really will fit that role. I think he could find it, especially, like I said, no one really has taken a grasp at it even in the last few years.
Exactly. Okay, we got some. There we go. Hema, we got Hema in the chat over here. Hola, Hema. Who else do we have? All right, we got something for Rachel here. Rachel's taking her favorite late round guys like let's see. We got Aaron and Mostert. Well, Aaron Jones left. Do you think, Rachel, how do you feel about Aaron Jones? He's on your team now.
Yes.
Team has gifted him to your team.
Yes, dude. Thank you for the gift. I'm excited for him for this year. I think he's going to have a huge role with the rushing and the receiving that he can do with whoever the quarterback is, Sam Darnold or JJ McCarthy. I think they can easily rely on him, a veteran talent.
Exactly.
That gift was from both of us.
Oh yeah. So he was one of the oldest guys on the team last year with the Packers, but like he brought so much in that like experience, like there in the locker room, that I think made him really valuable. And I think they're gonna miss that from him this season. Scamps wants to know Field Cordarrelle returner stats. Someone please do it. Somebody.
Yeah, love it.
Somebody do it.
I just love scampers. Hey, scampers.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Guys, we are coming in the end of the 12th here, going around to the 13th. Like I said, this is a 15-round draft. Guys, we are moving along. You guys must have other things to do tonight.
Sleep.
Yeah. I know. Erica Bridgerton's over now. We have nothing to watch anymore. So.
For real. It's so sad.
House of the Dragons on Sunday night.
There you go. Yes.
Opener. Oh, and The Boys has been insane this season. If you're into that show.
I started watching that, and then I just realized that was back on. So that's kind of what I watched after our show last week.
It is crazy.
It is it's insane show. I mean, it's a lot of fun, but it is absolutely
just the first episode of The Boys like had me hooked.
Right.
It's so good.
Insane.
Insane. As soon as she got hit.
Yes.
The very beginning. Like I was like, what is happening?
Spoiler alert.
You've ruined the show for everyone now.
It's like a minute in. Come on.
No, I watched the first episode the other day. I did not expect The Boys to be about superheroes. Like it was totally different. Like what I heard a lot of good things. I was like, oh, The Boys, that sounds cool. It's probably about some really cool dudes, and it's just, but it's great.
No, expand on that. You thought it was
not really cool dudes.
I mean,
I love it.
Listen, I do just fine getting myself canceled on my own podcast. You are not going to rope me into that at all.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Nice Trey Benson pick. Damn.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good job, Tim.
everything has been ruined for me.
Yeah.
I suck.
Oh, you have Jaden Reed and Roma Dunze. What more could you want?
Another tight end.
And you took Laporta. So
there's
again,
like at least 24 tight ends that could be viable.
Yeah.
There's one guy I have starred that you could take.
Ooh,
He's the only one left.
still out there.
Chuck, you tell me yours, I'll tell you mine.
Yikes.
We have 2 more minutes, so go ahead and say it.
He made a lot. I'll tell you
I
this.
played this
He
game before.
He pissed off a lot of people last year.
Yeah, he really did.
Oh, Chig. Scott, we got a question for you over here in the chat. Johnny Smith, that's a good one, Chuck. Anna wants to know, when is the next wave coming?
Oh, maybe tomorrow. Yeah, we'll try to figure it out for tomorrow. We have a lot of stuff coming up. We have race day tomorrow on the channel. Might as well send a wave for the weekend, and then we have something really big popping off on Monday. I'll probably tweet about it this weekend. I just need some final confirmation before it happens. So.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Scott, we are going into the 13th round here, so we are going to be kind of wrapping up here soon. But tell the people about Fantasy Cares and where they can go to donate, and anything else that we all should know. Yeah,
I was just about to jump off in a second here too, so it's good timing. Yeah, scottfishbowl.com to sign up for the Fishbowl, fantasycares.org to see whatever we got going on there, but mostly just donate. But you can check out our YouTube channel. We go live 2-3 times a week as well. But anything I'm doing, it's ScottFish24 on any of the social medias and fantasycares.org or fantasycares.org on any of the social medias. And we're around, we're doing stuff. We're trying to have contests year round now. So it's pretty fun. I'm enjoying that everybody's seeming excited for this SFB year, and the live drafts are going to be real. The Boston one is going to be absolutely crazy. I'm excited for that one.
That one sounds like, they all sound like fun. Like I'm just so excited. I like to go see everybody, because you have all these friends that are over the internet and all over places that you don't see all the time, and it's just such a nice way to like get to know everybody and see them in person. I love it. I do like these shirts so much. I got mine the other day. I got the Godfather one, and I love it.
So much better than last year. I wasn't a fan of last year's. We did some test shirts. We tried to find a really good ones this year. So I'm glad you like it. Yeah.
The designs are out of this world. So good job to your art department.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I'm gonna have to go more. This was the only one that I could sure decide on. I had others that I don't know just yet. I can't pick, but maybe I just have to follow them.
I get it for sure. All right, I'm gonna take off. I know you only have a couple minutes left to for the show, but I'm gonna head out, grab a drink, and see my wife for a minute or two before going.
Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great night.
Cheers, Scott.
Thanks,
Scott.
Yes, so guys, if you aren't already following Scott Fish, I feel like if you're watching a Scott Fish mock draft, you probably are. But if you're not, you can go find him on Twitter. Make sure to go look him up. He is at ScottFish24 on the Twitter machine.
And there's still more spots left for the Fishbowl.
So go sign up if you haven't signed up yet.
Right.
If you haven't signed up yet, don't know what you're doing. Come on.
Right. Just had a buddy excitedly text me tonight that he got in. He'd been waiting to get in the last few years. He's like, I got in. Like, I don't know. I love that excitement of that.
Yeah.
Getting it. You know what I mean?
That was private.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be private.
Sorry. I just was so excited for you. I'm sorry.
I just love it all over the timeline. Everyone's posting their invites. It's just so exciting.
Yeah,
I know. That's my favorite thing. I like open up, Twitter, and that's just all just filled with a whole bunch of invites. Best. Love it. Rachel, I like your Bellinger pick there. I don't really know what to think of him, but he is the number one guy they have on their depth chart right now since Waller retired.
Yeah, they do have that rookie Theo Johnson, but I just love Bellinger. I just think he could be a sleeper tight end this year.
I agree. I mean, not everybody can have a rookie tight end year like Samuel Porta did, but I said that for you. That was for you.
With tight ends, anybody that has a pulse is viable.
Exactly.
Even Hayden Hurst.
I thought Hayden Hurst had retired from football. I didn't realize that he.
Kelly took the guy, Reese guy.
Yes, Kelly.
He was on there. I tried to search him and I couldn't find him.
Kelly for the win.
Maybe it's probably because he's hyphenated. Maybe it wasn't.
You got to go by the first part of the hyphenated, the Reese. Yep, I was going by the second part.
Foisted.
Yep. Kelly, get it. I love it.
Well played.
Let's go.
She's a KC fan, so makes sense.
Very cool.
I was going to take a player, but I'm leaving it open for Chris. Just throwing that out there, Chris. I hope you take who I think you're going to take. Hope you're listening.
Oh, first kicker.
All right.
Here we go.
Homer pick, Keith.
Don't be hating on Koo. The offense is going to be really good.
I love Koo. Koo's one of my favorite kickers. I love him. I just needed to poke the bear a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. I don't like any of these guys.
Keith has been weirdly quiet tonight.
I know.
He has been.
He got a lot of his talking in on the previous show.
Apparently.
Yep.
That's fair. And also, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm a DFS guy, so I feel like a fucking idiot.
Fair to say,
as you can tell from the start, when it's like, hey, how do you open this app? But this is why I do DFS and I do gambling. But we're getting there.
Keep bringing the boomer energy tonight.
Rico was still on the Erica. How did you let that?
Oh my
happen?
God,
Erica, I was waiting till you picked this next pick to call you out of it. I'm like, how the fuck can you have a Rico Dowdle tag on your thing?
I did not even realize. Oh my God. I am a failure right now. Oh my God.
Erica just on the record.
I am
Still too early.
I would have taken him. Okay. He won a few
Oh my
picks.
God, I cannot believe this.
Truther, my ass.
The star power got her.
Damn. Oh, I'm embarrassed now.
Christian Watson in the 15th. We hate Christian Watson that much. He's in the.
Erica's gonna have to leave town.
I am. I mean, it's fine. I hate Dallas anyways, so it's fine.
He's the 4th best receiver on their team, Stacy.
Whatever you want to say, how those wide receivers go, that's again talking about that profile. He has that athletic profile that if they can't find a guy that works, he might be the one that's getting some kick return action. I don't know. I mean, Watson the 15th, you can't
He's getting new hamstrings. He's gonna be fine, guys.
Yeah, right.
Hammies. It's totally cool.
I mean, this is a mock. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's not happening in the real world.
We're just poking the bear.
I hate this team. I hate my team.
I'm searching for Xavier Gibson. Like, where is he? And
it's because with a P. Gipson.
No, it's because you have him.
I know.
Is Xavier Gibson living in Aaron Rodgers' guest house?
No. That's the other truther. And that's what I was worried about too. Is like he probably won't even be the kick returner this year, but that's again, I don't know what I'm doing. Was just throwing darts at guys, just like with Justice Hill, that could get snaps, and they look like they might be the lead candidate for kick returns.
I'd love to see Tariq Cohen get some love, but I want to see a little. I want to see us get down the line a little more.
I just want him to get in a better spot for him.
Oh, Jalen Rager.
Yeah, he's going to be the kick punt returner.
I tried to tag it at the end. They just announced Dortch was probably going to be it, like just today.
Oh no, that's my guy too. I actually believe in Dortch.
Oh yeah, lots of love for Dortch going around lately.
Well, he won me a lot of money in DFS last year, so
yeah. I think the one and only time I played DFS last year, it was I put money on him to get an anytime touchdown, and he got it for me.
Him and Darius Slayton were just treasure troves last year to me and Joe Matz down the stretch there.
Remember the good old days of $5,000 Tank Dell?
Oh yeah.
Oh, those were some good times.
Hell, that was like to week 6 or 7. He was still in that range.
DK did not catch up to that.
No. Well, they did the same thing with Thielen for like the first 6-7 weeks, where every week he was like 52, 5,100. And it's like he scored 35 points last week. I guess I'll take him.
Yeah.
But when that balloon busted, it busted pretty hard. And there was not any more Adam Thielen days.
It was a good run.
It was.
It was.
Delete, run off, bring back Adam Thielen.
And I'm fascinated to see what CMC is for next year, because we made a ton of money. Like Dave Eddy said, the saying death taxes and playing CMC in cash games, because despite him being like $10,000 every week, it was just automatic that he was going to get 25 to 30 points and be worth it. You try to find your value elsewhere. And I'm very curious to see if they start him lower like they did last year, or if they just immediately price him in like that 10K range, which is where he lived the last, 8 weeks of the season last year.
Oh, Patterson.
Jahan Dotson. I love it, Louis. I'm still a believer.
I'm not much of a believer, but I'm just going for the last stack there that I had. But I don't know. I don't know if there's a worse player in the league with the ball in his hands after he catches it.
I think I had a higher yards per out run than Jahan Dotson.
Luckily, he's got a QB who can throw the ball down the field, so maybe he doesn't have to get yards after the catch, and he can still put up decent stat lines.
That's what I'm hoping for, some touchdowns. But man, that's really what you're banking on.
And Curtis Samuel's gone. Chris, you didn't do the Fields Patterson stack. So Rich took Patterson with our Mr. Irrelevant pick very last there at the end.
By the way, there's a very good chance Patterson gets goal line touches for any of you Steelers, Warren, or Harris guys out there. I'm just saying, like, I've seen it in the Arthur Smith offense. We got Bijan, you got Algier, and then he's handing it to Cordell Patterson. When we
Do you know how long it took me to take my bags from the Tony Pollard bandwagon to the Jalen Warren, and then he laid this shit on me?
Oh, I don't even want to tell you what my like Jalen Warren exposure numbers are right now.
No, I like Warren. I'm just saying, in the red zone, inside the 5, just be prepared. There's a very good chance Cordell Patterson ends up getting a good amount.
Be prepared for Arthur Smith to screw fantasy players. Yeah, I've been there.
He was a good offensive coordinator in his defense for Tennessee. He was just a really bad head coaching play caller.
Fantasy. All right, guys. So I know we are a smidge past an hour. Is getting a little bit late here at 10:15. But everybody, I want to hear favorite pick from everybody so far. Rich, I'm going to go down. Start with you since you're the first pick. I'm going to go down the row. What was your favorite pick of this draft?
Sure. So, like my favorite pick that I made, or favorite pick in general that I'm seeing?
Favorite pick you made.
Favorite pick that I made. That's a tough one. I don't really like my team that much on this one. I'm going to be honest. I liked getting Dak Prescott. Like I said, I haven't been doing a whole lot of mock drafts where I've been taking 2 quarterbacks that early. But getting him that late, like having 3 people that weren't drafting or 4 people that weren't drafting a quarterback at all at first really helped him slide to me. So I was really excited to get him.
Nice. Louis?
Jaden Daniels at 211 is, like I said, I was really considering him at 1-2, and I'm not even saying that facetiously. I think he's going to be great in this format. I think he's going to be rookie QB1 this year as far as fantasy goes. And in this format, I can easily see him being a top 5 guy. So to get him at 211 in a super flex, I'm pretty happy with that.
That's solid. Kev, what's your favorite pick?
I mean, my team's all right. I guess I like the combo of Dave Montgomery, Jalen Warren, the 8th and 9th. If you want to talk about a top 20 wide receiver that I got in the 13th round, Dontavian Wicks is pretty good value there. So
that's right. Go Pat, go. Love it. Rachel.
Yeah, I kind of did a little variety pack. I did like every other color at the beginning to make it pretty. Young at the quarterback. I got Love, Nix, and Young. Just went Young. And Aaron Jones is my favorite pick in the 7th round because, like I said, I think he's going to be a standout on the Vikings offense this season with whatever quarterback is at the helm, either Darnold or JJ McCarthy.
Hopefully McCarthy.
I'm thinking like 3 games for Darnold and then it switches to McCarthy. That's what I'm banking on, but we'll see what happens.
I just mean for Aaron Jones and the entire offense because Sam Darnold ain't it.
I kind of like your Mostert pick down there in the 10th.
Oh, I love Mostert.
So like flipping and all these things.
My league mates don't listen. Plug your ears. I love Mostert. He's mine.
Noted.
Keith, I'm sorry. Keith, I actually have a ticket for Sam Darnold being the comeback player of the year.
What odds you got on it?
Jamie, thank you.
It's 75 to 1.
I'm not gonna hate that. Yeah,
it's because of all the other ones that are really obvious with the injuries and Rodgers. And
you got Justin Jefferson, not a bad deal. Like he makes you look a lot better.
I am on record for saying I think he reinvigorates his career here and he plays the whole year. That's more about my feelings on McCarthy than it is Darnold, to be perfectly honest. I just don't think McCarthy's going to be it, but I think Darnold gets the whole year because he'll just be good enough to like keep them in contention. And I don't know. Is he bad? Do we know he's bad? Really? I mean, I know.
I feel bad for him. He's never got a full shot.
Really hasn't gotten the full shot. And before the Purdy thing last year, I think he was on track of being their starting quarterback. And who knows, in the right system, maybe he's that guy that everyone. Right. So I don't know. I'm kind of excited to see what he does this year. So I'm sorry. I just wanted to stick up for my boy a little bit there. I heard
we also don't know that Trey Lance is bad either. Just wanted to throw that out there.
No, we do not. I'm with you, Kevin. I'm with you.
Look, someone's got to represent.
No, listen, I'm waiting for him to get his chance. There's a lot of dynasty rosters.
We do know that Desmond Ritter's bad. Just an FYI.
Yes, we're in agreement on that.
I mean, is that an indictment on Rondale Moore for getting traded straight up for Desmond Ritter?
Kinda, yeah, it is.
Oh my goodness, Chuck, what do you like about your team? Is it your five tight ends in a row here? Because I'm kind of digging.
God, take your pick. This is like trying to pick your favorite episode. It's like trying to pick your favorite episode of Seinfeld. This is just
yes. Oh, give me your favorite one, though, Chuck. Come on, give me your favorite one.
I'm gonna go with Zeus White at 8-8. I probably wouldn't have taken Kamara if I thought Zeus was maybe still going to be there. So in 2006, Larry Johnson set the NFL record with 406 carries. I have Zeus 407 this year. I feel pretty good about that, and we're just gonna rock it home.
Love it,
man. I literally talked about him on the show before. Don't forget that guy was the #1 running back in high school his senior year. Absolutely freak show. Tore his ACL senior year in the playoffs, freshman year in college, but he's still that dude. Average same yards per carry as Herschel Walker in college. Like, he is a legit stud, and I do love him with the Raiders, and Pierce being an old school coach. It's going to run it a lot.
You bring in Gardner Minshew if you want to pass less. And so
yes, that's a very fair point. Yes.
Chris, with his favorite episode of Seinfeld up there at the Sponge.
Very good. Festivus is my favorite. The Festivus for the rest of us.
Puerto Rican Day with the laser pointer is mine.
Oh my God. You can't go wrong.
Rocking, don't go
to
a
Chuck's
knocking.
point. Cannot go wrong. The Holy Cow Harry Carey's great, where the keychain gets buried underneath the ground. Like, there's
I think that's the same episode where they keep going into that open house and George
watching
the Mets game.
Yes.
Penny Packer, Vandalay.
Erica, what do you like about your team besides obviously that you got great value on Sam Laporta?
Well, I got to say, I am only low 30s, and I have never seen an episode of Seinfeld.
Oh,
so starting that out.
Yes.
Go get me my coffee. Oh my gosh.
Anyway, I hate my team because Chuck decided to take all of the tight ends that I wanted. Ooh. I was waiting for like the turn, but I do like the Chase Burrow stack that I got going. That
is nice.
Beautiful.
Basically it.
I like your Reed and Odunze picks. So like you got Reed
in the later rounds. Yeah.
That's solid. I love that.
First year Burrow's been healthy in his career in the NFL coming into this time of the year, and I still think Burrow's that dude. So I'm very high on Burrow, Chase, Higgins, etc. You like the new hair though? Is the question, Stacy?
I is that real? Because I keep seeing other pictures where
I don't know. I actually don't know.
It's real and it's spectacular.
Yes. Yes.
You do it perfectly for
God
that.
bless you, Lois Lane.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Keith, take us home. Who's your favorite pick out of your team?
I don't like any of my picks. I do love Louis, Anthony Richard, Jaden Daniels. Like, that is such a nasty stack with what I've seen with the rushing upside for the QBs and a super flex. But if you had to twist my arm, I guess I would go with getting Garrett Wilson in the 3rd round, who Kevin was talking about it before. I think if A-Rod is healthy and 85% of the QB that he's been previously in his career, Garrett Wilson is about to go absolutely nuclear, and it would not shock me if he's the #1 wide receiver in the league this year in fantasy.
Yeah, I'm a huge Garrett Wilson fan this season. I was last season too, and that didn't work out that well. But hopefully
well, you had Zach Wilson and
he did
a bunch of other schmucks throwing him the ball, so that's not really Garrett Wilson's fault.
I with Rodgers. I can't wait.
Yeah, just make sure you account for late October, early November for a little decline in production when Aaron
Kennedy gets elected
on the campaign trail and getting a
Kennedy gets elected. He's in the cabinet for sure. We were talking about it on the show before. 100%. Like, what do you think it is? The maybe over health services or something?
Director of the ATF.
There you go.
Someone's got to regulate ayahuasca.
We're all going to get immunized. All right, guys. This has been such a blast. Thank you for everybody who joined us in the chat, watching online. You guys are rock stars. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this evening. Guys, make sure to give us all a like, a follow if you love and you listen to what we were doing here tonight and you like listening to us. Then hit that subscribe button, please. Jorge hasn't fired us yet because we're not over 1,000 subscribes, but I feel like that's coming. So make sure that we make it to August and the season starts. Guys, you can give all of our wonderful guests here who shared their time with us this evening a follow over. You can follow Louie over at FF_Louie G with 2 E's. Analytics are for nerds. Make sure to be checking out that podcast. It is a really good time. Rachel is over here at Tootsie Pop 6. Ladies, if you're out there, you're not part of the Unwind community, reach out to Rachel and make sure that you get in on those Zoom chats. They are an excellent way to make some friends in the fantasy football world. And give Mr. Chuck Bass a like and subscribe over here. He is at Chuck Bass FF. He is part of the This Guy Sucks podcast. And Chuck, you can let your wife and baby out of the closet now.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Take that, Harrison Butker.
Thank you. Yeah, I have to skip, but thank you all so much for having me. I'm about to die.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for joining us tonight, guys. Everybody, again, thank you so much. We will be back next week with our final Scott Fishbowl Expert mock draft for you. We've got some really fun guests coming on that you're not going to know about unless you hit that subscribe button. So make sure to do that, and we will catch you next Thursday. See ya.